Hello, this is Teresa Phelps Martin coming to you virtually for a little understanding of the energetic signature. Lulu says hi too. She is my goddess embodied, and that is a big theme for July. So this is the energetic signature for July 2021, and the overarching theme for this year for me is this energy of great radical change, the structure of how we live, how we engage, the foundation, our roots. This isn't something I've just made up. This has to do not just with the Saturn-Uranus square, but it has to do with this great awakening of the feminine. The feminine's always been awake. She's been awake before we can even remember. We all have come from the womb of that divine source, not just the physical womb of your mother. So this feminine energy has a lot to do with Mars, the warrior, the ambitious, the one who goes after what we want, being delayed in the ability to move forward for the past year. So who else feels like they've been delayed in their ability to move forward in the past year and has had to radically change and readjust their priorities? Maybe it's just living with your priorities, but also just what matters to you, what is important to you, and letting go of loved ones, literally, and finding new friendships and new connections, or perhaps restoring ones that have been neglected. So I don't want to go on too much of a tangent. But for me, it really is about embodying the feminine, like reimagining this feminine embodiment. So I started these energetic signatures with the start of the year. I think I've been about 98% consistent. And I want to tell you that this is the formula for the signature, okay? This is something that I draw out, think out, contemplate on, and then double check. So I'm not making this up, although I use the cosmos, the alignment of the heavens above, to give structure and form for my intuition to come through. That's what we all need. So July's signature is, what came through to me is that the feminine energy, the goddess energy, that which nurtures us and cares for us, and our ability to receive and respect and honor, how it takes both the idea of Venus and Mars. They will join up together in the sky this month. Actually, because I'm doing it, I'm just gonna tell you, on July 12th. But the Mars is gonna be dancing like parallel with the sun as soon as that new moon happens on July 9th. And then it's almost like Mars is gonna walk with the sun. The sun will be in Cancer, cardinal water, this ability to really come home to your private life, to nurture, and it's gonna be about this ambition of like, how are we tending to our private affairs? Mars says, hey, look, I'm ready, let's go. And then it's almost as if when this ambition comes with the sun and then meets up with Venus, then Venus and the sun travel parallel. So the sun moves 1 degree every day, and Venus is gonna be in a similar thing, but she's ahead of the sun, okay? Little too much information of technical, but that goddess energy it's like this subtle. It's like we know so much is shifting, so if we can trust in the fact that we're not navigating this alone, that there's so much energy that we can draw from, so much support, so much in the unseen realm, that she's here to help us adjust to all these subtleties, all these sort of like, I'm ready to go, but why can't I go? Why isn't it taking off? So much is coming to place. This weird fog that I've been in for the past month or 2 months or maybe 7 years is starting to finally, it's like, I'm just gonna speak personally, that I've been in the void, that I've been in this kind of sacred depth, this dark creative space of really meshing different layers of myself and coming home to myself and waking up to a lot of wounds that need to be healed, which is what we've all been going through. Don't get caught up in the timeline, okay? The timeline is there to give us the structure for the system so we can operate. But there's this kind of like, wow, that's happening so that we can recalibrate. And if we can look at this month as a place to feel the steaminess, the passion, that what we care for, getting really clear in how we can value our private affairs, to understand that home life, what we bring into the home is the foundation of what we step back out. So if you neglect it, then you're actually just in a land of false ambition. Sorry, I need some water. Water's really, really important. If I could have a Kango water supply, I would. Don't go there, don't go beyond your means. But like, take root. Like, one day I would like to have some of the most amazing water to nourish myself daily. So just know there's a lot of subtle shifting, and we're still in this, like, if there was a word, it's subtle discomfort with enthusiasm on reflecting of like, oh yeah, we're in the hot, steamy land of summer in the Northern Hemisphere. And we get to feel this burgeoning, this newness, this fullness, but not yet. A little hint. It doesn't all start to really move forward again until October. And then in December, we'll be able to move forward even more. So just know it, even though it feels like we're in that 3 steps forward, 10 steps back land, it's not gonna stay that way forever. So let yourself receive. Receive the long days that are getting shorter now. Unless, I don't think I have anybody watching this in the Southern Hemisphere. Your days are actually getting longer as ours are getting shorter. So think of that, just that parallel right there, right? That parallel right there. That while summer is in the thick of it for some of us north of the equator, south of the equator, there's the thickness of winter. So don't think that you're alone in this, and that and know that there's always opposing energy. I do think some of you live really close to the equator who's watching this. And so you have this steadiness, the consistency, you're the midline, right? So you don't fluctuate as much. It's more fixed, steady, consistent, which is also the energy of this month. But I'm gonna re-emphasize these subtle sort of, like, it's hard to put your finger on it, but there's something pulling at the heartstrings and pulling at your soul. Like, what your soul is just like, hey, look, this has to happen. This is what we're here for. As my daughter said this morning, I messed up with something. I was like, all right, you live and learn. She goes, Mom, you gotta live to learn. And learning is living. So just sharing a 4-year-old's wisdom. Okay, so clear concepts for this energetic signature is to lead with heart, your heart. If you don't know how to tap into your heart space, then perhaps just initiate a new practice of caring for yourself, of putting your hand on your heart each time you go into a transition. So let's say you walk into a room. You walk like somebody else's home, and this is new, right? Going into people's homes, and just pause and come back to yourself. Come back to what really matters, okay? Or if you get overwhelmed or in an argument that's steamy and passion and there's multiple truths, and those storylines will continue to unfold, that you just bring your hand to your heart. So you can love unconditionally yourself and the world around you, just like Lulu was showing us. Just wanted love. And I'm rubbing her belly and she's telling me how much she likes it. Okay, to be authentic, to be yourself. Some of you know I'm not going to tell you to be unapologetically authentic. However, some of you have to stop excusing your behaviors and just be. I'll tell you right now, all my actions, they might seem brutal to my family members, but they come from hearts. They come straight from caring. So I don't apologize, and I'm going to work on just letting it be and not trying to explain myself so much. Say yes to your soul. Say yes to your soul. Go inward. That means to go into the depths, to go into the mystery, to go into the unseen. You have to still be ego driven. You have to have a home. You're probably gonna have to pay for that home that you live in. You're gonna go to work. I don't get to leave my house for work right now. Don't know if I ever will again, but it doesn't matter. There's gotta be a gesture to sustain your livelihood, but bring soul to it. Bring soul to it, okay? So that means saying no to some of the jobs because it's not divinely aligned with your heart and that unconditional love for yourself. Sometimes we have to take jobs to pay bills. I am gonna have to do something because my ability to be generous is expiring. Just put it that way. Okay, and dream big, dream big. Just don't get stuck in the how, but keep dreaming big, because what's gonna happen at the end of July is the energy is gonna get actually there's a lot of shifting and changing in the month of July with all these subtle things that we wanna be so fixed on how it's been, but it's essential to start to look at how it can be. So dream. Right? Like I said here, I would really love to have that very fancy cake and water, and I might even be saying it wrong. But you're resilient. So we're not gonna try to figure out how to do that, but how to do it, I'll be sharing soon enough, is you wanna structure with soul, okay? And you wanna integrate your ability to know what you want and how you can get it, right? So I know that I want to continue to be available for my children. I know I want to do more soul coaching. I know that I am going to be changing my rates to make access to these insights in this work more accessible. I also know how valuable what I bring forward is. So I'm not actually having more accessible price points in my work, but I'm rather doing it out of love, generosity, and trust, right? Trust. So that's the integration of knowing what you want and how you want to get it. Those rates will be revealed once I have more time to reveal them, but it's one of these things that came to me, and it's just really important. I don't want this work to live with your soul to be exclusive, and most everybody that I want to work with is out of my price range. So to me, that's a privilege of being inaccessible. I'm not saying that anybody else needs to lower their rates, but it just feels very aligned with me. So anyhow, integrating your ability to know what you want and how to get it. Okay. Now here's the big thing. We're gonna have to, this month in July, we'll start off with a lot of tension. And it's not bad tension, it just feels like it's gonna feel stuck. Remember I said it's subtle, it's, you can't put your finger on it. This beginning of the month, you'll be able to put your finger on it. It's really, we're gonna feel kind of that, I just want it to be the way it was. I don't have to wear a mask again and things are opening up again. But there's this it's not, people want me to teach at a studio again. I can't do it, you all, for so many reasons. I love you. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with the fact that I am not being authentic or leading with soul or saying yes to my soul by going backwards to what I used to do. I will continue to integrate yoga into all the offerings I offer, coaching, counseling, transformation, cosmic insights. It's all coming together. Just know I'm not going backwards, and I don't want you to either. The release of this tension, okay, because we're going to start off with fixed T-squares between Saturn, Mars, and Uranus. And because Mars moves faster, it's kind of like the bigger, slower moving planets are kind of like the adults, the ones who have a little more authority over ruling the sky. But it's personal. It's personal. And then the second week of July, we have that same energy with Venus. So our dreams, our ambitions. There's some good things happening too, because after that, after this energy of Mars being challenged by the heavy hitters, then Venus being challenged by the heavy hitters, the sun comes and walks with this energy. Okay, so it's almost like our vitality is listening to the tension, and the release of this tension is to dive deep into the mysteries of you. Like to become intimate with your vulnerability. I'm not saying, get naked and walk around the streets. Being vulnerable is as simple as slowing down long enough to feel and to expose those feelings, to expose that inner world to those trusted individuals, not toxic relationships, those trusted individuals that can hold the space for you, to be present for you, to respect the private affairs of your own individuality, because it's actually going to help the collective. Okay? Just know there's still a lot of adjusting this month, and there's still a lot of dissolving. So if you haven't grieved what was yet, it's time to do so. Okay, quick rundown. We're gonna start July with a fiery moon, and then we're gonna get that tension. And then come the 4th of July through the 10th of July, we're gonna feel some support with the journey of fate and how we communicate that. And then we're also gonna feel that tension. The storyline is gonna start to clear up. We'll kind of have more of the bigger picture, the fuller story, and we can start to move forward with that articulation. We'll have a new moon on July 9th at 18 degrees Cancer, and I will do a separate offering for that. It'll be the Soul Scopes, probably not a live or a recorded video. Come July 11th, we're in that energy, right? That dance of Venus and Mars, and how that relates to you is your personal desires and values and resources, and how you go about it, how you take what's inside and bring it out, how you really revel in the sacred beauty and then demonstrate the sacred beauty. Okay, the wisdom is going to start to reflect again, so you might find those tidal waves of emotion coming over. And then we will have the first quarter moon in Libra on July 17th. And then the sun's going to be opposite Pluto on July 18th. 18 is a number that kept showing up for me. And if you did numerology, which I do not, that takes you to the number 9. Number 9 is that remembrance of your power and your strength and that journey of all that you've learned, okay? Our sacred flame goes from that daily life into integration of the personal and the private, of being able to sit and listen to your enemies and your loved ones, because they have a sacred spark in them as well. Venus goes into Virgo on July 22nd, and the sun moves into Leo on July 23rd. So the 22nd and 23rd are going to kind of be full energy, because we have a lot of change, a lot of shift in a full moon. And as soon as that full moon happens, as soon as the sun moves into Leo, there's a full moon. So anybody's birthday who's on July 23rd, it's a big, you're just a full moon baby this year. And Venus will be in a great relationship with Jupiter. So it's kind of like that dream big. We're starting to know how to take action, right? And to get into the details of it, which is sweet. And then the last week of July, let me just say this, the last few days of July are have some pow. They just got some oomph. They got some, here we go, here we go, here we go. And then that is July. So thank you for tuning in. The energetic signature is a lot of fire and fixed fire. So again, lead with your heart. Be unapologetic. Say yes to your soul. Dream big. And know that all that tension is just asking you to go in. Perhaps even just be vulnerable with yourself. Respect your private affairs. Honor your inner world. Hold space. And that is the access to your heart and to that unconditional love that even if it's hard to find from others right now, you can find it within yourself, because all that is unseen, our sweet divine energy that receives us just as we are and adores us and loves us, is helping. She's there for us. And so we will all reimagine how to embody this feminine energy from heart to heart. And so straight from mine to yours, straight from my own heart to your heart, thank you for tuning in. If you feel moved by this, and I'm gonna have to start asking more to make a love offering, you can go to my Venmo, Teresa Phelps Martin. That's the easiest thing, or PayPal, Grace Filled Growth. And those are just who I am and how I am. And if you cannot financially make a contribution, no worries. Share this with a friend. Maybe not directly, but contemplate on what I've shared with you and how can then you carry that light forward in your own authentic articulation. I just appreciate if you honor me, where this came from, and I will continue to honor you all. Be true, be real, be soulfully you. Ciao.